At practically every point along the route, there have been relatively few people that resemble me. I was not the first black Navy SEAL, nor am I the first black smoke jumper. In the 1800s, a group of black smoke jumpers known as the Triple Nickels battled forest fires in the American West. However, their contribution was not well publicized, and as a result is now completely forgotten. It is quite rare to find a black person fighting wildfires any place in North America. Yet it makes no difference where you originate from or how you appear. We are all hampered by seemingly rigid social life. Whatever your gender, culture, religion, or age, there are certain things that you have been told your kind does not do, which is why there must be someone in every family, neighborhood, culture, nation, and generation who breaks the mold and changes the way others perceive society and their place in it. There must be someone willing to be an outlier. Savage sees the walls and obstacles that are continually attempting to close us off and divide us, and then knocks them down again by demonstrating what is possible. There must be someone who exemplifies brilliance and challenges everyone around them. Why not you? For me, the path to success is rarely straightforward. It has always been more of a maze. Many times I believed I'd finally cracked the code, had it all worked out, and was on the straight path to victory, only to hit a wall or get spun into a turnaround. When this happens, we have two options. We can remain trapped, or get back up and try again. That's where evolution starts. Hitting those walls repeatedly will harden and streamline you. Having to back up and construct a fresh approach with no guarantees that it will work can improve your essay and enhance your problem-solving abilities as well as endurance. When this occurs hundreds of times over many years, you will be forced to adjust. It is physically and mentally demanding, making it nearly impossible to believe in yourself or your future. Many people lose faith at that point. They will in Eddie's ease of comfort or regret, possibly claiming their victimhood, and stop looking for a path out of the maze. Others continue to believe and find a way out, but they want to never fall into a trap like that again and to use the skills they've polished and acquired with her. They lose their advantage. I'm always looking for another twisted pretzel of a maze to be lost in, because that's where I end up. The easy road to prosperity is useless to savages like me. This may sound great, but it will not put us to the test. It does not require belief. Hence, it will never make us great. So we all form beliefs in different ways. I spend many hours in the gym, performing thousands of reps, and running and riding my bike long distances. To cultivate belief, regardless of what you may think. I don't consider myself an ultra athlete, since those races aren't who I am. They're tools. Each one gives me a supply of faith. So even when I'm lost in the maze of life like a broken savage, I feel I'm capable of attaining my absurd ambitions, such as becoming a smoke jumper at the age of 47. Regardless of what society or the good doctor says, I don't imply that you have to run 100 or 200 miles to believe you have what it takes to achieve where you want to go. That's what I had to accomplish, given the depths of the darkness I came from and the scope of my goals. However, if you have lost faith, you must re-establish it. Whatever it takes to convince yourself that you are more than capable of achieving your goals is what you must do. Remember that your greatness is not dependent on any outcome. It is located in the veils of the attempt. My group was one of 4 on standby when the winds picked up and thunderheads swept across northern Bears, Colombia. We were at our satellite base in McKinsey when we received word in the middle of the morning that a lightning strike had occurred and that 3 air fires were blazing outside of Fort Nelson. Although I had completed rookie training, you're not considered a smoke jumper until you jump your first fire, and I was about to be baptized. Our 3-man crew boarded the DC-3, a rebuilt World War II Radical, with 3 other personnel, adequate firefighting equipment to extinguish the fire in 2 days of food and water. We flew for 90 minutes until we reached the billowing black smoke and leveled off at 1,500 feet. The streamers flew, and the spotter pointed out an overgrown pipeline section, little more than 20 feet across, about a quarter mile from the flames. That was the DZ, kneeling at the open doorway. The shot of the wind drift and the hazard run down over the sound of the propeller. "Roger, am I clear?" I hollered. The plane rumbled and trembled. It was so loud that I could scarcely hear myself. I believe my racing heart delivered a rush of adrenaline through my body. Locked onto the static line, I moved up to the door, grasped the outside edges with both hands, and pushed myself into the air in time to watch a teammate's parachute open 150 feet below me. When my chute opened, the rumble of the propellers and the violent hits of the wind faded into a quiet whisper. I looked down, found my DZ, identified all the threats, and assessed the entire scale of the fire. There was danger in all directions, yet all I saw was beauty. My body had failed me for 8 years running. I could have given up a dozen times, including some late nights and early mornings. My doubts were louder than that. DC-3. I had to sit with that doubt, look it down, and most of the time, I didn't have answers. There was no reason to believe I'd ever get here because I kept falling short for various reasons. It is easy to overcome whatever doubts you have in your head. It's considerably more difficult when you know you've felt it more than once and the chances of succeeding are minimal. But because of how I live and the mindset I worked hard to establish, I had enough faith left to try again. Nothing in my life has ever worked in my favor. On my initial attempt, it took me 3 cracks to complete Navy SEAL training. I had to take the ASVAB 5 times and failed twice before setting the Guinness World Record for the most pull-ups in 24 hours. However, failure had long since been neutralized when I established a goal and fell short. I don't even consider it a failure anymore. It's merely my first, second, third, or 10th effort. This is what belief does for you. It entirely eliminates the possibility of failure because you go in knowing the process would be long and arduous, which is exactly what we do. I wish I could better describe what it's like to defy the medical mind and parachute into wildfires. At 47 years old, this experience is nearly impossible to convey. All I can say is that I hope you and everyone else experience this one day, because overcoming all barriers and testing the limits of your skills is the pinnacle. In those rare fleeting moments when you are washed in a sense of infinite possibility and overwhelmed with glory, everything they ever did to you or put in front of you, all the knockdowns, breakdowns, and focus, and every bit of the pain, doubt, and humiliation is fucking worth it. But the only way to get there is to constantly seek greatness and be willing to try one more time. I never had to be the harshest motherfucker in the world. That became a goal because I knew it would bring out my best self, which is exactly what this messed up world requires from all of us in order to progress into the finest versions of ourselves. That's a moving target and not a one-time task. It is a lifelong pursuit of additional knowledge, courage, humility, and belief. Because when you summon the courage and discipline to live like that, the only thing restricting your possibilities is yourself.